Welcome back, everyone, to another session of the World of Horen adventure. Thanks for joining us tonight. Briefly, before we get started, please follow us on Twitch. Click that follow button. Let's get that number climbing. We're going to do something special once it reaches 500. Yeah, it's up somewhere out there. If you're watching on YouTube, go jump onto Twitch and then go and click the follow button, or click the subscribe button on YouTube. Do all of those things for us. Follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP, and social media links for each of these wonderful adventurers we have here are visible under their names. So go ahead and go and follow each of them. All right. So our adventure today, we jump in a sticky situation. Our heroes arrived to the Citadel Haganibuto, this dwarven stronghold within a mountain, for the purpose of finding the Speaker. Speaker's gone on walkabout. The party, through a number of interesting encounters, ended up assassinating a council member of the High Council of Haganibuto, found guilty for the assassination, and have been sentenced with exile in order to prove their innocence by following up leads on a hag that may or may not be behind all of this. So, we rejoin the adventurers. Our heroes went to sleep and slept during the night. Now, you have a room back at the Thundering Anvil Tavern. Nefer Rockfist doesn't really speak to you, but he makes sure that you get everything that you need. Obi goes on his own little excursion in a couple hours, and he'll come back afterwards with a fun tale to tell, I'm sure. But tonight, while everyone sleeps, we're going to focus in on Cecil. So, it's
yeah, go ahead.
That on this particular night, your mind, you're a little. I'm pretty sure you're still a little wound up about what happened over the past couple hours, and so it takes you a little bit of time to actually really fall asleep, right? Or no? Are you comfortable with everything that happened, and you're out like a baby?
Cecil isn't sleeping because he's preparing. I'm preparing for a true hunt, finally. Okay. So I would have my scarf on the floor, folded, and my blade over my scarf, as I pray to my ancestors to guide me to the first Loom to protect me and our friends. As I, say something in Celestial. And then that's when I would go to sleep. Ready, preparing.
All right. Well, along those lines, as you're preparing for it and doing your mental stretches, more or less, while you sleep, your mind is filled with combat stretches. It is you going through scenarios, preparing, thinking of the monsters that you've killed in the past, and really working on tactics, making sure that you're prepared. On one occasion, you are with a group of 5 individuals that are just following you into the darkness that is beyond. These 5 individuals that you witness include two dragonborns, an elf, a tiefling, and a drow. These 5 individuals follow you into the deep, through those big gilded doors and into the darkness. Over the course of the next couple hours, you charge them forward, round bends, down tunnels, across huge caverns and pits, and each time you go through one challenge, another of those individuals that you are leading falls by the wayside. You watch as Corey, the barbarian dragonborn, that you recognize but don't quite recognize. Like you know the name, you understand the significance of this person. You watch as he falls to a shadow that just devours him in one go. Emerald, the tiefling, falls off the side of a huge cliff into a big pile of lava and just burns to a crisp in front of you. The pain excruciating as a person resistant to fire ends up burning completely to death. It must have been really hot and all of that. Kiragar, the drow, ends up turning on the rest of the party in a fit of madness as she, right? He, she,
guy.
I think it's a guy. Okay, he. As he's convinced you have all, you are all just victims, or not victims, tools of a darker evil, and he must stop you. And so you yourself have to put Kiragar down with the blade. Each death leading you step by step towards this one single silhouetted individual, hunched over. She turns around and a little glint of light shines, and all you can see are her dark red eyes just staring at you, and the word repeating in your mind, "I'm waiting for you, Cecil. Come hunt me." And then you wake up in the morning, having gained the full benefits of a long rest. Everyone has done so. Even Obi, who comes sliding through the window just as everyone's waking up.
Good morning, my friends.
Good morning, Cecil.
Cecil
Obsidian?
nodded.
Yeah.
Theodora, Daphne.
Elliot. Daffy, I was just saying everyone's names now.
Did you forget them when you fell asleep, or?
It's always good to refresh, I think, yes.
I roll over, and in doing so, knock Stripesy's off of my face where it had posted up overnight.
This is a sign of affection. Stripes is very fond of you.
I'll cough up a little bit of a hairball, and
she trusts you very implicitly.
I know I should be flattered, but there's something that's keeping me from doing this. Probably the feeling of hair on my face still.
You're a little red too. Are you okay? Are you allergic, maybe?
Oh, I don't know. I hope not. I've never had a cat before, so I don't know.
I mean, we have been adventuring for some time, I think.
Oh
no! Uh-oh.
That was a really good sneeze.
So what are we doing today? We're being exiled, right?
Oh, that's right. I should probably look like that dwarf fella again, shouldn't I? Or dwarf lady? Yeah.
I think that would be good.
Okay.
So to be clear, we are going to go down there, and the only way out is we have to bring back the body of a hag. Is that right?
Information regarding this hag. Our primary goal is to retrieve this fellow that went missing. The worst that can happen if we have no evidence about the hag is I believe we are exiled from this place, which is not the end of the world. But yes, obviously we would like to find this hag and end whatever nefarious plans she has on these dwarves.
Because the way you made it sound, I thought you were exiled into Lower Haganabuto, but I would not know. I was not there when you talked to all those people. I just know what you told me, so that is fine.
But we have 6 days to complete this task for them. Failing to perform the task, I don't know what the consequences would be, but They had the opportunity to put us to death, and they did not take that opportunity. So I cannot imagine it being worse than just regular exile. I also wanted to give my compliments to Daphne. We were not with you as when you went in undercover and incognito, but I do not believe I would have had this skill set to pull off what you did. So just compliments to your skills of acting.
I just really tried to get into the character, and think about, well, what would a dwarf do in that situation? So, but thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't believe we have any other tasks before we head down.
Let's not waste time.
Well, lead the way, Daffy, since you are our escort as the noble dwarf jailer who is taking us down there.
All right, then that's where we'll go. See, it's just so much fun.
You're a natural.
I shall lead the group there. Where are we going again? How do we get there?
Nefer told us that we just have to go talk to the Forge Delver clan, and they are the closest to the cover. I bet Nefer could just tell us which way to go.
I think that was if we've already secured another way down, and that is by the government officials banishing us there. I don't think we need any other clans to open the door for us.
You certainly won't need to get a permission from the Forge Delvers to go down there. The gate to the deep that you heard about previously is literally just that, one big gilded gate. It is down close to the bottom circle within Citadel Haganebuto, and as you follow the directions that are given by Nefer, you reach a point, more or less, the point in which the position Obi was when he actually assassinated the Gold Crusher High Councilman. And then you turn off.
I prefer murder with justification.
Well, yeah, it's still a sentence of death. So you turn off the path leading away from the Golden Palace, and there is a corridor that begins to widen out. The corridor is very ornately designed. Lots of paintings of ancient heroes of the Haganebuto dwarfs in their various forms of attire are honored as you get closer to these large gates. Unfortunately, your exile was so public that a lot of people have begun to gather at that location to watch you leave. At the gates themselves, you'll see Gold Crusher, Shotaro. These two individuals are stood either side of these enormous 30-foot tall gold-plated doors. The doors in themselves have a lot of dragon motifs all over them. The handles themselves of the doors appear to be the flames that come out of dragons' mouths as they just curl up and round out. But the size of these handles are so large that you see huge tools and handles off to one side that are used to grab the door and then pull out. And that's exactly what those two High Councilmen do. They pick up these huge 10-foot long poles with pincers on the end, clasp them onto the end of the door, and prepare to pull them open. Gold Crusher, with a nice big grin on his face, walks towards you all, Well. Are you ready for your journey?
I walk
Toward
around him.
I wish you well. So, the doors are big and heavy. Opening them takes a lot of effort. Once you're through, do be careful to make sure nothing comes through this way.
And
You understand?
how do we signal you when we are completed with our task?
Oh, right. You believe there's a chance you'll succeed. You may knock on the gate. A memorable knock that we would hear. Something unique that one of the denizens of Lower Haganebuto would not use. Do you have any better ideas on how you could contact us?
You are the professional, as I would take your word for it. We will just ad-lib a very catching and fetching beat.
Obi is briefly going to just do a pattern with his thieves' cant that is just open up. It sounds a lot like.
Okay. Fine. And I'm sure there'll be someone close enough to hear you in that moment.
Your confidence is overwhelming.
Yes. So, good luck and say hello to this hag of yours.
I have a brief gift for you, my friend. And I pull out an arrow and I give it to him, and it looks exactly like the other one. And I say, "This is a gift for you. And if no one opens the door when we come knocking, you will get another gift of another arrow as well in the future. Thank you so much for your magnanimousness." And then I leave.
He looks narrow, and the fact that you've given it to him, and you can see the cogwheels turning. He's putting two and two together. It was you.
I do not know what you are talking about. I have a simple gift, and you can have more if the door does not open. But that is all.
As all this is happening, they're opening the gate. Cecil is doing his stretches.
Okay.
Getting ready. Stone, like face, serious, ready, not caring about anything.
Are you ready to go? As I said, the doors block the denizens of the deep from getting out. So as soon as the doors are open, you make sure that nothing comes through. Take your positions by the entrance.
I draw a sword.
Return. Yep. They'll return to their position, and they'll, using these long sticks, they'll stand as far away from the crack between the doors as they possibly can, giving you a kind of a wedge-shaped position between these two poles right in front of the opening.
I'm going to cast the light cantrip on one of my boots.
Okay. Which boot?
The left one.
The left one. Okay. Right. In terms of this scenario and in future patterns when you guys move through tight corridors, because it is a lot of mining shafts and a lot of tight tunnels that switch back and forth, marching order will be an important factor. What is the typical behavior of marching order in a scenario like this for you guys?
I think I would be first.
Okay.
In the front.
I mean, I do not have experience with hags. I can usually be 20 feet ahead and be quiet about it, but if the best way to deal with a hag is to march forward and just stab her in the face, I will follow your lead, as this is your clearly area of expertise.
I should be last because with the light that I must use, you will want to be backlit. You will not want that light in front of you. It will blind you.
Okay.
Probably somewhere in the middle.
All right. So Theo pulling up the rear, Cecil in front, and then everyone else kind of switching in the middle around there. Okay. The gates begin to slowly creak open, and you feel a rush of air back through, like a pressured vessel just snapping open. This little curtain of air pushes through, and it is rancid, almost molded. There's you can definitely smell that something decayed not far from here. Some what's the fungal fields are just beyond here, with the rich thickness of this aroma in front of you. I need everyone to roll perception checks.
My passive is 14.
I got 14.
9!
I got a 12, though my passive would be 16.
Passive 14.
So just also to clarify, make sure I understand. So Theo has light on her boot, which is, 20 foot bright, 20 foot dim?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone else need any light to be able to see?
I think I do, actually.
I don't think fearbolgs have dark vision.
I do not have dark vision, so I do need that light to see as well.
Okay, so as of right now, you can see up to 40 foot, 20 bright, 20 dim, as long as you're close to Theo. Unless you have your own light source. But Obi, Cecil, and Pele are fine. Okay.
I have dark vision out to 60 feet.
Cool. So as a reminder, and for those that are watching, perception checks in dim light are at disadvantage, and so your passive perception whilst in dark vision would be -5 than what it currently is. Okay, so outside of the light that Theo has, your passive perceptions will be pretty low. Okay. So it is in this scenario, in this situation, that Cecil, as he's leading up the front, he is the first to notice. You can hear light footsteps headed your way. The doors are barely even creaking open, and you can see a thin creature, very small, dark skinned creature. It's wearing some pretty large black cloaking, and you can see it's pulling a blade out. It's darting straight towards the exit. What do you guys do?
Can I just look at him and intimidate him and say, leave, return, like, turn back?
Roll an intimidation check.
11.
Okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't intimidate him, and maybe it's the way the light is shining and the shadows split, but almost in that moment, he seems to split also into 3 other individuals who are all rushing for the gate.
We stop them.
Go ahead and roll for initiative. As you stop.
I do not trust this fellow, Moreno, so maybe this is a good person trying to get out. Help, I have been trapped in the Underdark for years because I dared to fight the Wicked Council, and now I just want out. Or maybe not. 23 for me.
Okay.
Best of rolls tonight, y'all. 5. It's doing great. Just get him out. Get him out.
If you got to roll low, initiative's a good place to do it.
It's true. It's true.
16.
I'm going to roll it for each of these fellows individually. Okay. So the fellows, do we have the battle map up visible for
Yep.
people? Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you guys an image. Can you see that picture of the Darkling Elder?
Yep.
Elder?
Yep.
So this is the creature that you see. Very lithe, very thin individual of, to some degree, a lot of Fey-like features on him. Scimitars begin to draw. Cloaks begin to billow behind them. They are headed straight towards you as they attack. I've got Theo, Cecil, Obi, Daffy, Pellier. Okay. And right from the get-go, Obi. What?
Are these people considered to have acted yet on this turn?
No.
Then I'm just gonna pull out my short bow and try to assassinate the first guy coming at us.
Okay. So as a reminder, assassinate in this situation only gives you advantage. It doesn't give you an automatic crit.
Correct, because they're not surprised. But I don't. But I can still get my
Still have advantage.
I can still get my sneak attack because I have advantage on the attack, right?
Correct.
All right, that is 17 to hit.
17 is going to hit.
So that'll be 9 piercing damage and 7 sneak attack damage. And then I am going to move over here, and as a bonus action, I'm going to hide.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
That is a 16.
Okay. So these individuals would have watched you dart behind that rock, but from that point on, now you are quiet. You're very silent. All right. One of them actually gets to act now. And he is rushing, he is dashing, and is going to dash around Cecil as he's darting straight for the gate. Then his companion will charge forward 30 feet. Can't get any further forward. Yeah. So in which case he will he's taken a bit of a hit, so he's just gonna go defensive. Pellier, this guy is just purely trying to rush past you and ignore you. What are you going to do?
I am quite happy to ignore him right back. I will use my Blessing of the Raven Queen and bonus action teleport 30 feet so that I am next to this other fellow. And then with my action, I will cast Green Flame Blade on my drawn silvered side sword and attempt to plunge it into him.
Okay.
That is a 16 to hit
16 will hit.
for 10 piercing damage and 1 fire.
Okay. With the 11 points of damage, you watch as this creature's body ignites in flame, but the flame then turns into a magical light as it flashes out from it like a sudden spark of light. Its body and possessions other than metal objects all immediately turn to ash. Any creature within 10 feet of it, which is Cecil and you, need to roll Constitution saving throws.
Got it.
Did not see that coming.
I got an 11.
12.
12. Okay, so you both succeeded, which means you take half damage and do not get blinded by the exploding Darkling. So the half damage. Okay, so you both take 3 points of radiant damage.
How much do I take? Because I take half of that, so that's 1.
If you're resistant, then it's half. It's down to 1. Yep, exactly right. Okay, then we go to Cecil.
Nice. All right. I'm going to see the one that ran past me, and shake my blade, and try to jam it. Try to slice him in the back. For a 12 to hit.
Unfortunately, this guy is too lithe. He does a bit of a spin turn as your blade just slices past him.
And I'll use my second attack to try and get him again. With 25 to hit.
The 25 will hit.
14 points of damage.
Okay. He is shocked that you managed to strike him so, but still his focus on it is past the girls.
Got it.
Anything else?
I just give him a little stare, and then I have my turn.
Okay. Theo.
I would like to know more about these things. I would love to know everything about these things, but I think that's unreasonable. So, what can I do to figure these things out to see if I already have prior knowledge? I'm looking for all sorts of things. If they're known to be evil, what kind of classification of creature they are, why they blow up like that, what effect that has, if they're weak to anything. What you want me to do?
Okay. So I would say your knowledge about its capabilities and what the kind of creature is going to be maybe history, to some degree religion would work, arcana even, on that regard would
Okie
give you
dokie.
different kinds.
We will go with history.
Okay.
And it's 9.
9. Unfortunately not, but there's probably a lot you could learn if you could just get some time to experiment with this body. Maybe non-lethally take one down so that you can learn why it explodes.
I don't think I'm going to ask that of my fellows in this moment of chaos. Also, they're going down really easy, so perhaps they're not even worth looking at. I was just trying to suss out sort of what kind of hive they could have come from and if I could use certain abilities against them and stuff. But I don't know enough. So, would you like that to be my turn?
No.
Okay. Then I will lean around Daffy, and I think I will cast a Sacred Flame on the one that I can see.
Okay. So he would have to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
And
passes.
with a 21, he manages to dodge it.
And then I go hide behind Daffy again.
Taking the fact that Pele has just jumped forward, one of the Darklings is going to run right towards him. Sliding next to him, keeping its back up against the wall to make sure no one sneaks up behind him, this Darkling pulls his short sword out and is going to make 2 attacks against you. The first attack will be a 23 to hit.
This hits.
Okay. Knocking weapon aside, he slices into your shoulder for 7 points of piercing damage. He's then going to spin around and do one more, but with the extra flourish that wastes energy, and he rolls an 8 to hit.
Since I have my Blessing of the Raven Queen, I am resistant, so I take 3 damage instead of 7.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Then that'll end his turn. The next Darkling will also dash. There. Okay. Daphne.
If I may, I would like to take an attack of opportunity on the man who just passed me.
Absolutely.
And that is 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Just 6 piercing damage.
No fire.
Correct.
Okay. He'll take the hit and continue running on. Daffy.
All right. Well, I don't know. They're kind of small. I feel a little bad for them. So maybe I won't hit them right away. So I'll go ahead and try to cast Bane on the 3 I can see.
Okay.
They need to make charisma saving throws.
Okay. On the 3 that you can see, did you say?
Yeah.
On the 3. Okay. So I have a 13, a 13, and a 3.
They all fail. Yay!
So all of them have been Bane.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else from you, Daphne?
I'll go ahead and give some inspiration to Cecil.
Okay.
Because it looks like he might need it, because he's got 2 on him right now.
Obi.
I will move up here, and I will, with my short sword, attack the fellow who is already hurt.
Now, as you run up to him, it would appear that with his eyes, he just trails you exactly. Your stealth was inadequate to give you advantage in this situation.
Okay. 22.
That is still going to hit.
But I don't get my sneak attack, just my slashing. Or I get my sneak attack because he's in combat with someone else, right?
He is within 5 feet of your ally. Now, that 19 points of damage there, that is a powerful strike, regardless of having the advantage or not. He is going to explode.
Of course he
Which
is.
going to hit 10 feet around him. So 10 feet would be Daphne, Cecil, and Obi.
I got a 12.
Con saves from
I got a 7.
Daphne, please.
18.
Nice. Okay, so Cecil and Daphne both succeed. Again, you take half the radiant damage and you are not blinded. However, Obi's going to take the full hit and be blinded. So, Obi takes 7 points of radiant damage. Daphne takes 3. Cecil once again takes 1. Obi, you are now blinded until the end of your next turn.
Well, I'm still going to use my bonus action to lash out with my fist at the other guy. I can't see where he's at, but it's dark anyway. Ah.
It will be at disadvantage.
Yep. But you never know. It's a free unarmed strike. 13.
Which will miss.
Into the darkness. And I guess I'm blind, and I'm used to being blind, though. Dark. No, I'm not. Dark vision. I'm done.
Okay. Pellier.
I will draw out my other sword, so now I have both swords out, and I will lunge with both of them towards this fellow who's standing before me. That is an 11. This is awesome.
He sidesteps that.
And a 14.
And with a little bit of a chuckle, that's also going to miss.
This is quite embarrassing. Let's see. Yeah, that is all I can do. I will stay there and look dismayed.
What's embarrassing? I can't see you.
It's for the best.
Cecil.
All right, I'm going to grab my blade and twist and hold on it tight as I slice the one that's next to me. Hoping that I can hit these nimble little trash beans. An 11 to miss, and then my second would be a 9, so I miss both of them.
That
Do
misses.
you have inspiration?
Oh, right. Damn. I forgot. What is it, a D4?
No, it's a D6.
D6. So for the
Right.
first one,
Actually, I might be able to
a
do
4, so 15.
Was it a D6, Daffy?
I'm double checking. I think I might be up to a D8. I'm a D8 now.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
So a 14. So I missed that one.
Unfortunately, a 14 is going to miss.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll end my
All
turn
right.
there.
Anything else?
Oh.
Theo. What are you going to do, Theo?
I'm probably just I think I'm just gonna. They seem like they have it handled. I'm just gonna stay back here and keep doing pew pews.
Okay.
So the one that's closest. Give me another dex. Oh.
Maybe it was the flash of light the turn before, or Cecil's inspired strikes, but he fails. Takes 12 points of radiant damage.
He sure does. That's a
Yes.
pretty good damage roll too.
Yeah. Anything else from you?
No.
Okay. Well, it's I have the one right up against Pellier, who is actually going to. You know what, I'm going to flip a coin. Okay, he's going to use his turn to attack Pellier instead of running. He's going to take the opportunity. You've struggled to hit him. He's going to try to show you how to wield a weapon. And he says that in Sylvan to you. Do you speak Sylvan?
I do not.
Okay, so 17 to hit you.
He is also baned. Does this have an effect on
true.
his roll?
Point. Yes, it should have a good point. That is a 13 to hit from him.
That will miss.
So it's going to miss. Second strike will also be an 11 to hit because
That will also miss. I will
Bang
not
it
gloat.
up.
I will not gloat. I think that every Towns End, everyone has an off day, and I will assume this is his.
he will then, of course, provoke an attack of opportunity from both you and Cecil as he tries to run towards the gate.
And it is also not mine. 11 is what I rolled.
I'll take it. Yeah. 17 to hit for 7 points of damage.
That will hit. Okay. And then we have the one that's right up against you. Yeah, he's going to use his action to attack and then run. So 2 strikes against Cecil specifically. First strike is probably not going to hit. That's 12 to hit. Okay. Maybe something about them being baned just suddenly meant they roll terribly from now on. That's an 11. That's going to miss. Seeing that, he's then going to run past. It will provoke an attack of opportunity from Obi.
At disadvantage, because my eyes are seeing stars.
Actually, no, sorry. You can't attack, and you can't use an attack of opportunity against a creature you can't see. So he just runs past you without any problem. He runs past Daphne. Daphne, do you have a weapon on you that you would attack him with?
I could give him a slash with my rapier, sure. Might be the first time.
So,
This is an opportunity attack. You've also got Warcaster, don't you?
Oh, I do. I totally forgot. I could cast a spell at him.
true.
Hi. I'll cast Dissonant Whispers at him then.
Okay. So he's focused. He sees the light of day. He rolls a 22 on his wisdom save.
Wow.
So I believe Dissonant Whispers means he takes half damage on a success.
Yeah. So 5 psychic.
Okay. It is a powerful headache that he suddenly just gets, but he's still able to just push on towards the exit, and he does. He pushes on past Theo. Theo, you are the last chance opportunity before he is in Citadel Haganabuto and the dwarves have to take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to leave it to the dwarves, or are you going to finish him off yourself?
I really want to try something because it'd be very funny if it did work. I don't know if you're savvy with this though. If I need to wait my turn, I was gonna be like, oh, hang on, can I ask you a question real quick? Just because sometimes that will trigger some people, and they'll be like, huh? So I was gonna see if I could maybe do one of those and get him to just stop for 2 seconds.
Okay, so to distract him, I'm thinking it's some sort of charisma-based check to do so.
Looking at him.
We'll still have this use your reaction.
Okay, yeah, we'll do persuasion. That seems to make most sense to me. It's
Okay.
nice talking to him. And it's a 15.
Okay. He stops and wait. What?
Are you evil?
What?
Can you just clear that up for me real quick? Would you define yourself as evil?
No. But you have distracted him enough. Okay. He will stay where he is. All right, Daphne.
Daphne will go ahead and try another dissonant whisper so he doesn't get away. So he needs to make another wisdom saving throw. -4, minus the D4.
With the minus D4, that's a 19.
Oh, fine.
For wisdom saves.
Well, half. So 6.
Okay. That half a headache must have hit him in just the right one to trigger his motor skills, that it will kill him and cause him to explode. So, Theo and Daphne, as he explodes, you need to roll con saves.
Ah, shit.
Oh, that was low. 10. Did that make it?
We'll find out.
21! Woot woot!
Unfortunately, Theo, the 10 did not make it. The
Oh,
21 did. So, Daffy, you take 3 points of radiant damage.
wow.
Theo, you take 7, and you are now blinded.
Oh, shit.
Okay, Obi. Oh, sorry. Before then, Daffy, is there anything else you would do on your turn?
Let's go ahead and give some more inspiration if I can see. Can I see, Opie? Are you hiding?
Nope, I'm in the open.
You can see.
Okay.
I'm blinking like this. I can't.
Sure. Opie, take some inspiration. You may need it.
Woo!
Okay, Obi, you're blind until the end of your turn.
I'm going to stagger back until I hit the wall, and then I'm going to pull out my bow and arrow, and I'm going to blink really hard, and I'm just going to hold an action. As soon as I can see an enemy, I'll shoot him. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Right. At the end of your turn, you'll be able to see an enemy. Use your
I shoot him.
reaction. Shoot him.
21.
That is going to hit and hurt heavily.
Now I
This
don't
guy-
get the sneak attack, so it's just the 11 piercing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a heavily injured Darkling. Anything else from... Well, that was your reaction after your turn. Pellier. There is but one left.
I will pursue him. With both my swords drawn, I will take my attack and bonus action attack with both my swords and see if I can send him to his maker. That is 20 to hit
Which will hit.
for 6 points of piercing damage, and then 13 to hit.
Unfortunately, no, that's going to miss.
I was merely distracting him with that other strike because I know Cecil is waiting in the wings to finish him off.
Okay. Cecil, do you take this opportunity to finish him off?
I wish to grapple him and subdue him because we're going to question him.
I'm sorry. Did you say subdue or seduce?
Subdue.
Just checking.
I would like to
Either
put
way.
it on record.
I would like
Not
to
it.
seduce.
I
would
can't
like
even
to
imagine
put it
what
on
that
record.
sees.
Just
I
double check.
would not allow a player to try and seduce a dragon. I just want to put it out there. No, you can't roll for it. Okay,
Alright.
go ahead, Cecil. Roll
Uh,
an athletics check.
Okay. 12.
He's too nimble.
try
Does
it one
the
more time.
Bane... No, the Bane is only saving throws and attack rolls, so yeah, you can try it one more time if you've got the extra attack feature.
A 10. Damn.
With an 11, he still just manages to miss you.
Alright. Okay,
Anything
on my
else?
turn there.
Okay. Theo, who is blinded.
Yeah, so because I'm blinded, I'm just going to swing my sword like this in this space next to me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So this Darkling, if he allows you to be able to hit, he's probably going to die. So he will choose to disengage as an action, and then run past Daphne towards the.
Oh, he's totally gonna get into my little sortie range. He's going right past me.
Do I have a reaction again? Have we come all the way around?
We have not, because you're next, actually.
Does
Yeah.
Pellier have his still? Because it was
He
his turn round?
disengaged. He
That's
disengaged.
right. That's
Disengaged.
right. That's right. Thank you.
Oh wait, disengage would mean that all there are notice. Yeah. So because of the disengage, he dodges your blades, even though they were wonderfully in his way. And he will run past you guys, 10 foot past the door. He's now through. There is a bit of a scream from the dwarves out there, who very quickly, one of them does stab this guy. You see a flash of light and an explosion. A few more screams of some of the dwarves out there. But then Gold Crusher just stood next to the door. Strike one. And then he begins to close the door behind you all as Theo's eyes are coming to.
I'm gonna pick up a rock as soon as I can see it again, throw it at Gold Crusher, but it hits the door before it hits him.
Yeah, but we also scored 4 runs. If we're talking about the sports that I am familiar with, that is assuredly the same sport that you are talking about.
You mean the field ball? It is very common in many parts of the kingdom.
It doesn't matter if you have one strike and you score, you knock 4 out of the park. Who cares?
Yeah.
Cecil's gonna put his hand on Pelier's shoulder and say, "The door is closed. Can't hear you."
It's the principle.
We'll get back at him. Don't worry.
So, the dark tunnels of Lower Haganibuto stretch out in front of you, and immediately you can see just how much of a maze these things are. Right in front of you, the tunnel splits in 3 directions, and 30 feet down either of those directions, they then split again and interconnect and crisscross. Some end at dead ends, and you have to double back. A couple of them loop up underneath one another. It is a spider web-like network of tunnels underneath it. What do you guys want to do? How do you proceed through this?
Hey, Cecil.
I turn around and I say, I nod to acknowledge.
What, do you happen to know what those were? I don't.
Can I know what it, can I roll history?
You can. Would you have had any experience with Fae in your character's background?
Yes, I hunt everything. As a paladin, I especially love hunting Fae, fiend, and undead.
Okay. Then
19.
roll a history check. 19.
Yes.
Okay. So these are called Darkling Fae. One thing that you would know particularly is that they hail from what is our version of the Feywild, and to be trapped down here in Lower Hagani Buto would be as much of a nightmare for them as it would be for anyone else. But these that are truly chaotic neutral, they desire nothing more than whatever their whim fancies in that particular moment, and they won't allow anyone to get in their way from it. The killing light, the fact that they explode, was due to your information you would know is that it's due to a curse that was placed upon their entire race eons ago by a very powerful entity. They cursed all Darklings to demise in a flash of light.
I give the abridged version to Dio. Spark Notes version.
Thanks.
It's alright. If these people, these monsters, they're still creatures. They might look like humans, but they're creatures. Regardless of well, if it was right for them to try and leave, it was right for us to strike them down.
I have no thoughts on that, but there are a couple of more spells in my arsenal I can use now.
Do you think we'll see more of them?
Probably see other things here.
Like what?
Monsters.
Oh,
Never said
Hey.
that there were fiends down here of some kind.
I mean, this is like you are the
What?
proverbial child in the store full of candy.
Well, I've never been here before, but in a sense, yes, this is exactly where I want to be. I'm gonna actually move forward right here, and I'm gonna activate Divine Sense.
Okay, so that would help you to divine if there are any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of you, not behind total cover. You do not detect any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of you, not behind total cover.
Got it. Alright. Well, are we gonna continue heading on?
So it's
I
just
mean,
a maze of tunnels with directions that tear off in all ways. How do you know the right way to go? What are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
So,
There was a story about a fellow who got stuck in something like this, but he had string that he could take, so he knew where he went. And I have string, but only 100 feet, so that will not do.
I'm going to put my ear to the ground, see if there are any vibrations.
Roll a perception check.
nice.
Nat 20, 24.
Nice. All right. So you listen out for vibrations, and you're keen. You've been listening to minuscule details at college all the
Thunder's
time.
also my thing.
Yeah, I mean, vibrations are just everything that you stand for. You can hear the pitter patter of other creatures below you, but you also hear a rushing thunder that, judging by your knowledge, the way that it vibrates through, you are above a very large, very fast-flowing river. But it seems a little different, maybe thicker, heavier, louder, rumbling sound, indicating the liquid that is flowing through here is not water, it is something thicker, something denser.
We might be above a pit of lava? That's kind of what it sounds like.
Lava?
It sounds a little bit like rushing water, but if it was made out of like blood or something.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Maybe it really is made out of blood.
But
That would be fascinating.
Like a river of blood?
Daffy, between me and you, I bet we could tear a hole in the ground and open it right up to whatever is down there.
Why would we want to do that?
Because that's where we're going. We're going somewhere. We're going down. We know that.
I thought we were looking for a hag.
I hear
the
that
hag's not going to be
hags.
upward.
I hear that hags are really big proponents of blood, unfortunately. So if there's a river of blood, they'd be all over that, like flies on moldy stew.
Okay. Well, if it'll help.
We don't have to blow anything up. Talir, what do you think?
I would like to look at the ground to see if there are tracks. Tracks for these fellows. Maybe they lead in a very precise way, and perhaps there's a very recognizable set of hag prints or dwarf prints or something like this.
I wish to aid him on that.
I am 100% in favor of blowing up the ground.
I am too, but let's at least try to find
Okay.
something around here.
Cecil, how do you help him with his survival?
It's a survival check. Seeing that my knowledge of and family teachings, I could aid him in terms of, we could check this side because this type of creature does this, or a hag might do this, because of learning and history and reading, studying from the
Okay.
great library.
All right. So I will say that is sufficient to give Pelé advantage on his stealth
Hell yeah.
roll. And
That is,
what did you roll?
24.
Nat 20.
Natural 20. All right. So you come to an very quickly. You can pick out the different kinds of footprints and markings that are here. You don't see any that you categorically can say a hag. These are her footprints, but you can see generally the directions that people traveled. These creatures had a very thin and a very distinctively pointy footprint that you can traipse back and follow their line. There are some more larger, thicker, heavier, more heavy set boot prints that lead down a different direction. And then down a third direction, it's mostly just claw-like footprints. So sometimes it's a paw print, or other times it's just tiny indentations in the ground in couplings of 3 to 5, indicating creatures that walk on claws. So generally speaking, you've got the tunnel, the direction that these darklings came from, the tunnel where some heavy boots, probably dwarves, headed down, and then something that was more natural.
Cecil, since you know so much about these fellows that blew up when we killed them, would you know, perchance, if there is any type of relationship that these creatures of the Fae would have with hags? If they are perhaps in league, then maybe following their tracks will lead us back to the hag.
That I don't know. To be honest, hags they're all different. You know. What would my character know about the covens? Just
I would say you would know about the covens. You would also know that while hag is a general term for any kind of witch-like figure, you would know that there are different kinds of hags, and at least one of those hags is a fae. So that right there connects the Darkling Elder with the hag if the hag in question is one of that is fae.
there's different types of hags. If the hag is a fae like the Darklings, then they could be in league with each other. But more or less, most of the times hags are in their own little coven with their own little group, little groupies, kind of like us. We could follow the dwarves, dwarven prince, only because our original mission is to find the speaker. Or we blow the fucking shit out of that freaking floor and then we look cool floating down.
Well, we have the tracks. We know in the general directions. We have this option whether or not we blow up the floor.
They are not mutually exclusive, these ideas.
But you do raise a good point. Say all goes according to plan and we blow the floor to Kingdom Come and we are able to see what is beneath. How do we travel safely down below? I guess rope? Is that what you had in mind? Anyone?
I mean, I can fly.
Yeah. I just wanted to jump down. I probably would have died or anything, but it would have been cool.
I mean, if it's like the river of blood down there, that might be kind of gross. But if it's actually lava, then maybe don't do that. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
If it is blood, I wonder what type it is.
So I guess unless we want to send OB negative, do we wish to send OB down one of these paths?
I will be back in 5 minutes, and if I do not come back, you can come save me. No, I suspect that this is a dark place, and people have absorbed the darkness. I do not think, people will hear us coming, and I do not care to go so far away that I could not hear you in your armor clunking around, Cecil. So I think it is best we just go forward and face whatever we find.
Decisions.
If we do find the hag that we're after, can we make a group decision to hear why she's doing stuff first before we open a can of whoop-ass?
Well, I was just gonna say when I saw her when I tried to take the spell off of him, she wasn't very nice. She said that he was hers and just really mean.
But that spell, that sandwich of spells, sounds like a pre-generated message. And if it was a pre-generated message, then it would be two dwarves, logically, not to us. So we already know that they are enemies, but we don't know why.
My teachings and my upbringing, we do not negotiate these creatures. But out of respect, if she were to give a very logical and a very, I guess, like an excuse, and it looks like, hey, the dwarves really are assholes, which we know they are. And I turn to Daffy and like, Daffy, can you please not look like a dwarf? I hate them right now. Wish to see the real you.
All right, I'll go ahead and drop it.
That's better. I will hear what she has to say. I am not going to be very easily convinced. But
Great.
I will. Yep, I'll make sure not to let my emotions cloud.
Appreciate that. And she's got to get through all of us, so it'll be a hard thing to do. I kind of I believe that she's not going to. We're still gonna have to kill her in the end. I'm pretty sure, but just in case, you'd hate to look back and learn that you killed like the most progressive entity in all of the Moonlit Mountains.
I don't think that would be a particular problem to think about.
They're all the same. So now, which way are we going?
I mean, you were the one who saw the tracks. We're following you.
Let's go the way with the dwarf prince, because you were right. Let's try to find that one guy.
I will lead the way.
So we're not popping a hole in the ground then.
Unfortunately.
All right.
Not this time.
Charging forward into the tunnels. It's dark. It's cold. It smells down here. The walls are sticky every so often. Whether that's through mildew or the blood of some other creature, it's unclear. Those of you walking at the front using dark vision to be able to see, you see just simply shades of grey. And that lessens the impact of what you're experiencing right here at the entryway. Theo and Daphne, though, however, those with a lot of light, you can see that here in and around the entrance, the way to Haganabuto, a lot of battles must have taken place. As you're walking down this dwarven path, you can see and blood just splattered everywhere. The light from your boot reflects off of some caked in decorations all over this stonework. The tunnel is long. The tunnel is fairly tight. You can just about walk two aside, abreast of one another, as you're following these tracks. They will lead on for hours. Yeah? What's up?
Oh, hey, random thing, everyone. So remember a minute ago how you said, oh, we're going to get back at Gold Crusher? Remember that bit? Well, now is probably a good time to let you know. Remember that guy who had a crush on you, Daffy, and wanted a date?
Yeah.
So he's the head of the Stone Twister clan. And remember that guy who you told me about, who was the councilman who made you come down here? What was his name? Mentobe? Something like that? You told me about it. So I did some digging. He's the head of the Chiselback clan. So it seems like the three people who really wanted, the High Lord dead, kind of through machinations got us down here. So just something to think about, when we go back and do what we do.
Burn the whole mother down.
I mean, I was not going to say it. I was just thinking it, but yeah.
For once, I agree with you, Obi.
I didn't follow all of that, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to hit some people in the face is what I take from that. So, okay.
I think a shadowy cabal of dwarves is trying to overthrow the monarch, the lord, and they have managed to shunt us to the side and get us down here. So the sooner we get up to take care of them, the better.
It should not take long. Oh, well, finding her will probably take long. But the process of killing her will not take long. I mean, listening to her as I look at Theo.
I'm not offended.
Will not take long.
I mean, I don't know anything about hags. Like, I guess they're bad.
They are.
I mean, like, evil, like, they should be destroyed from off the face of the earth.
Yes. Just like,
I mean,
it's like, yeah, that's exactly true.
I mean, is it just because they've done bad things? Are we saying everyone who's done bad things should be wiped off the face of the earth?
See, stealing an apple is a bad thing because you're stealing it from somebody that worked hard for it, to produce it. You're taking from them money that they could get. Now, stealing the souls of children, that's also bad. But is it
Right,
as
but
bad?
it's like the same. You're stealing something that someone else like really wants and can get money for.
And produced and worked hard on.
This is just like, Obi. Just think about what you said. Come back to me in a couple months. Process what you just said, please.
Okay, I'm going to note that down.
Okay. So, miles and miles down the line, the tunnels become more sparsely visited. The boot prints reduce. You know that most of these boot prints were for the purpose of hunting monsters down here. And so they as each battle goes through and as you find different scenes of combat, you'll spot fallen, not fallen dwarves, because every dwarven body would have been reclaimed, but you see weapons and discarded pieces of armor lying to one side. You can see on one occasion a lower leg of a dwarf still pinned beneath a large rock as a massive claw is wrapped around its ankle, also severed at the forearm. Some nasty battles. Theo?
I would, if there are dismembered body parts, I would like to
Dismembered
stop and figure out how large the thing is that could have gotten it, how it could have gotten it. You said claws, so we got that. But how big would that be? And is it a claw or a tooth? It's definitely a claw.
Definitely a claw that wrapped around this dwarf's leg. It is roll.
Medicine?
I would say medicine because you're judging anatomy.
That's not a great roll. 13. It's okay, but
Okay, so a few things you do recognize about this claw. For one thing, it is a 5-fingered claw. The central 2 fingers, though, are almost stuck together. They're webbed to some degree. There is fur that lines the edge, so animalistic style. And where it's been severed off, the bone has been snapped, but there is a lot of muscle in the sinew. So you've got a very strong creature, animalistic-like. Its blood black, giving you the understanding that this is
okay. This is probably the fiend.
probably the fiend.
Yeah. This is ichor. Here, that's not blood. That's ichor.
Now, knowing that it's a fiend, more avenues open up to you. Medicine might not be able to give you the information you need, but you can test your memory or your arcane knowledge or your religious knowledge, or other people that are more proficient at those things could do that.
You should know I don't have proficiency in religion. I know I'm a cleric, but I don't. Just fun
Fair
fact.
Can I help her? Like, give her advantage trying to figure that out?
Yes, if she comes to you for help.
Okay.
Oh, I absolutely would. He's the encyclopedia Fiendica over here.
Fiendica.
So I'll tell him, okay, I think it's got 5 fingers, but 2 of them are kind of seared together or something. It's got fur, and how it's I don't know. The claws could be like that big.
Yeah, like they're big. There's probably from some large fiend. Now, either one of you, and I don't mind who, rolls either history, arcana, religion at advantage.
I'll do history. I've got stuff for it.
Okay.
Got it.
16.
16.
Yes.
Okay. So that is enough to be able to recognize what this kind of creature is. This fiend that you have here, definitely a fiend. It is known as a bar guest. Bar guests are almost hound-like creatures, but very large, nasty hounds. They typically spend their time mostly with with goblins because, or in the ancient history, they were believed to be the servants of Maglubiet, which was a goblin interpretation of one of the gods. So there was a pack of bar guests here that would have been fighting with the dwarves, and for those, let's see if it focuses. There we go. A bar guest.
A puppy.
Yeah. So, do with that what you will. Knowing what a bar guest is, you know that not only is it a creature that fights with claws and its teeth, it is a spellcaster as well. In that it has innate spellcasting abilities. Yeah.
So we have that to look forward to.
I am not looking forward to that. Ugly creatures.
Pillier, if you stay somewhat close to me, I can pop a little bit of extra good stuff on you if we're about to go head to head with it.
You honor me with this boon. Surely Cecil could also use this boon as he is out in front.
True, but he's also geared to fight these things. I don't know about you.
I'll be fine.
All right, but let us press on.
You continue on past this particular bloody scene, and it ends abruptly at a cave-in. Rocks have completely smashed in to block your path. You can see little breaks of not light, but Theo's light can shine through to reveal it's just a cave-in in front of you, and the tunnel does continue onwards. But huge boulders have, over time, just filled in this tunnel in front of you. How do you proceed?
Well, shoot.
So I recall we were talking about an explosion. Maybe.
Well, wait.
That.
If this has been here for a minute, then we know that Dagnar didn't go this way.
Do we know that this has been here for a minute?
I'm not a
Judge.
mason. I am a thief.
It was what, like 3 days that he was missing down here?
No longer. He's been missing for
Longer.
many weeks.
I
He's
don't
been
remember.
I believe he had stopped responding a few weeks ago, but he only went down into the deep a few days ago. At least this is what we were led to believe by his uncle, cousin, whatever he was.
Mm-hmm.
The man at the inn.
Nefer Rockfist.
Yes.
If you'd like to roll an investigation check, any of you, to be able to ascertain how long these rocks have been in this place, to check that kind of thing, would it have been recent enough? You can do so. It's not a difficult one.
Can I do
Well,
a nature check?
Nature check. Yeah. How?
I rolled double ones.
Yes, you can. Nature would work.
14.
14. The rocks here have settled, and they've already begun to age a little bit. The air on one side is a little bit cleaner than the air on the other, so you can see that they are beginning to shift in that natural form. So yes, this passageway has been blocked off for months, if not years.
Yeah, I don't think that, unless he can cast Pass Wall, I don't think that he could have come through here.
Alright. So I guess we turn back then.
Okay. So you go back, but you don't go back all the way to the entryway. You go back a mile or two, maybe an hour's walk, and there are more offshoots. There's just no boot prints that lead off this way, as best as you can see. When you get to this junction, this first opportunity to move away, Pellier and Cecil, once again, because you were doing it beforehand, survival check. tracking the speaker.
And am I still doing this with assistance?
With advantage. Yeah.
I will also have my familiar out with me, and just so he can say, I will talk to him and say, what do you think? And he may or may not respond, but I got a 20.
Okay. All right. You will see some footprints, but they're not heavily booted. So either someone in robes or dress clothing passed down here, or someone fairly light did so. So you will take that tunnel. It breaks off. It changes in elevation down this one. It actually very steeply starts heading down further into the deep before it breaks out into a larger space. By now, you guys will have been marching through the tunnels of the dark for a good couple hours. You're going to be getting tired soon. You need to think about the possibility of having to spend a night down here.
I think we were prepared to take up to 6 nights.
Yep. Now, the way that these dark tunnels work, you guys are going to need to find spaces that will fit you in order to take long rests. In order to find the right kind of spot. So what sort of spaces will your characters be looking for in terms of looking for a night's rest?
I would just be keeping an eye out for an alcove-ish area. Like maybe a hallway with some fallen rocks, so each person could just have some like broken rock to lean up against on their side or back. Doesn't have to be like a big open area, just within 10 or 15 feet of each other, scattered around the hallway, would work for me. If we're seeing no signs of anything else coming through these tunnels.
It would be really nice to try to find something. I mean, we can get cuddly, I guess, but I mean, I can throw up the hut as well, which might be helpful down here.
I recommend this. Yes, absolutely. We should make use of this very fine arcane trick.
The hut is a 10-foot radius, right? Centered on you?
Can be up to, yes.
Can be up to. Yeah, okay. So you can do smaller, fair enough. So that is quite a bit of space anyway. 10-foot radius is a nice big space around you. The hut would be visible in the dark in that no one would be able to see through it, but that would block their vision and whatnot. You'll go another couple miles down the tunnel. The temperature begins to change as you're getting closer to rushing river, indicating probably lava. Maybe Theo's right, or it's really, really warm blood. Who knows? But probably lava. As you move on this extra hour, you find a spot that is seems like it's actually quite perfect for what you need. There is an alcove that's about a 30-foot wide, 10-foot tall alcove that's off the side of this tunnel, but it's actually raised ever so slightly. So if you're moving down the tunnel that's a 10-foot tall, the last 3 feet up in the corner is actually an opening into an open space for you to camp out in. So it's a nice, defensible, there's only one way in, one way out, and you are well covered down here. However, when you poke your heads up in there, you see it is full of bioluminescent fungi. Myriad of colors and shapes, some as small as little daisies, some mushroom capped as large as an umbrella. This is a whole garden filled with the different kinds of fungi. Do you guys know anything about fungi to know which ones are good, which ones are bad?
Well, do they look like they're growing randomly, or are they a garden where everything's like in rows and it's clearly cared and tended for?
I don't want to say it's not in rows, but they are in clumps. So they're not truly random. They are naturally growing in groups, but it's not as neat as like someone farmed it.
But it's not like some hag, instead of a candy castle, is making a fungus garden to, while away the hours.
No. Roll an investigation check.
Yes, sir. That is a 26.
Right. What you can probably ascertain from this would have been something that someone used in order to cultivate fungi in the past, and then just stopped tending it. And so certain fungi groups began to overlap a little bit, mixing into one another. They began to breed together and creating new ones. So the organization does suggest purposeful planting, but the slight disorganization really confirms to you that it's been a long time since anyone's tended this.
Great.
Anything else, guys?
I mean, I do not think we need food, just a nice, restful place. And this is certainly... I did not expect such beauty in this sad, dark place.
Do you know what these do? Do I know what these do?
So
Are they going to hurt me if I touch them?
Are you touching them? Is that what you're doing?
She's getting as close as she can without touching, and then kind of looking over at Theo. Can I touch it?
So to answer the question, Theo, that you posed to me, do you know anything about these? I know you worked your medicine. Certain fungi are useful in medicine, so there is a chance that your teachings and your schoolings, the college instructed, but to what extent do you think your studies would have included various forms of fungi?
Probably just the harmful ones. I probably don't know about the non-harmful ones.
Okay, no, fair enough. All right, then a history.
Well, actually, I might know about the non-harmful ones because I'm also proficient with nature.
I would only know about straight up, like, can this be a poison or an antidote, and that's probably it.
Okay, so would you, Theo, use nature then to see what you can gather from these? What would you guys do?
If you give me the option, I would like to use medicine to at least discern whether or not they're harmful. That's definitely the higher one.
Okay, go ahead and use medicine. That will help you to be... Okay. So what's the result there?
25.
25.
No big deal.
All right. So you're able to... You're not able to tell anyone what they do, but you can tell everyone which ones are harmful, which ones are not. There are telltale signs with the way that these fungi grow, the shape of their caps, the vibrancy of their illumination, the colors that they illuminate. There are certain key indicators that you know, and so you just start picking out ones that, yes, you can touch that one. No, you can't touch that one. I don't know what it's going to do when you touch it, but you should be okay. That sort of thing.
That's exactly what I say.
So you touch one of the good ones, Daphne. All right. So you've got a choice of the good ones. You've got really big, round cap with pink spots on it. You've got very small that appears to be slightly spiky, and it's a bright. And then you have this mushroom cap. I don't know the actual type of it. It looks almost like a vertical, like a. I don't want to use the term phallus, but that's all I can think of right now. a phallocyfic fungi in front of you that is very vibrantly glowing purple with that's placed there. So these three are there. You can pick one that you would touch.
The pokey one.
Okay.
Ow.
Yeah. So you'll poke it, and it will actually sting you just a little bit. You'll feel it. It'll bleed for a moment. Then your hand begins to heal over, and you notice the skin getting quite a bit harder. In essence, your finger starts getting a thin layer of bark skin over it.
Well, let me see that. I'm gonna test it a little bit.
That's really cool.
And then I would like to harvest some of this stuff.
Okay. So, in essence, it acts like similar to a scourer pad or like a metal wire brush or something. You can scrub a surface of flesh clean with it. It'll hurt, but when the flesh heals over for 24 hours, it will be like bark skin. It'll be tougher. It'll be better grip, that sort of thing.
I'm probably gonna mess with this, put some catalysts in it, see if I can liquidize it instead of having to scrape someone's skin off with it. That sounds terrible.
Okay. So, do you have vials? Do you have stuff for collecting these kinds of things?
I do have a kit of some kind. It's an herbalism kit. Yep.
Okay. So you'll just start grabbing a couple of these and make sure that you've got a nice big collection. It's not hard to harvest them.
Climb up into the hole and squat down and get to work, and I'll just be over here doing this.
Okay.
Do I know if any of these can be the ingredient to form the basis for a type of poison or toxin?
Quite potentially, especially after Theo confirms which ones are good and which ones are bad. Roll. Well, do you have a poisonous kit?
I do have a poisonous kit.
Okay, so I would believe that in a poisonous kit there is a small little tool that helps you to identify the degree of violence of a poison that is like testing the acidity of something.
Right.
So you pull that out and you can test which ones are the most potent, which ones are useful. Roll a poisonous kit check with whatever skill.
Let's see if I got my. Well, I'm guessing it would just be dexterity to test it without getting it on my hands and poisoning myself.
Okay, so dexterity plus proficiency bonus.
21.
21. Okay. Yep. You will be able to find some very potent poisons could be crafted. Should you have the materials to brew them into a drinkable poison, you can use some of these to craft poisons. In particular, there is one that is just a simple flat yellow cap mushroom that you quickly test it, and the indication reminds you of a particular poison that's very good at paralyzing creatures on contact, and that is usually the most deadliest kind, in my opinion. When you paralyze someone. Okay, but if this is going to be an ideal sleeping space, which it can or it can't be, it's up to you. You guys might need to do something about the bad ones and clear yourselves a space to actually sleep in. So what will you do? Will you move and go and sleep somewhere else, or will you camp out here and get rid of the bad ones?
I am happy to assist if someone would like to direct me.
You should be able to burn them. I do not have anything to do that, but at least these yellow capped ones, they do not give off an odor. They have it has to be ingested. So if it was burned off, that would not do anything.
Could we even get enough of the good ones out of the way to lie down?
Oh, you've never slept on mushrooms before?
No.
It's actually quite nice.
Oh, I'm just saying if it's easier to get the good ones than try and pick up all the bad ones that might hurt us. I don't know.
Oh, are we not staying here?
No, I wanted to. I just I thought maybe we would move the mushrooms that might hurt us.
Okay. Yeah, I can just, if you guys will, and she's still with her mortar and pestle over here, I can, like, describe them to you if you guys want to start plucking the bad ones out.
So let me just get this straight. Theodora, you don't want us to pick the good ones. You want us to sleep on the good ones. Is that right?
It's only a suggestion. You don't have to. I'm not saying, like, you're going to wake up with any benefits or anything. It's just soft. Very much softer than the hard ground. And it's cool.
So is there a patch of the good ones that we would be able to make a nest of without having to touch the bad ones?
Yeah, those really big, the large capped ones over there, they shouldn't smell that bad. Those over there will smell very bad if you sleep on them, so don't sleep on them. But those over there are good. Good pillows.
All right. I'll try to make the hut around the pillow ones.
Okay. So you do your best. Theo leads the charge. You choose to get rid of the bad ones and sleep near the good ones, which is a good choice to do. Yeah. Hello.
While we are making camp, I would like to make my way over to Cecil, and if he's sitting, sit beside him. If he's standing, working, whatever he's doing, just
I would be
him.
like samurai knee with my a scarf laid out and my blade, my bluish blade laid out on it. I would assume that we're like chilling at the moment, so like he's I'm very not lost in thought, but very not in tune, but like I'm ready, like I'm just waiting to do what we have to do.
All right, so I will approach Cecil, and I will say, Cecil, do you have a moment? And I put my hand on his shoulder.
You may sit.
So sit. Said, I see that you are taking this very seriously. I know that this is your calling, but is there anything wrong? You seem very more focused than usual. This is very tense.
I'm not trying to be tense. This is actually where I feel most comfortable on the hunt, as I guess you would like to say. This is my job. It's not even just a job, to be honest. I don't really care about money, glory. Family doesn't care about that stuff. This is our life, my family's, my tradition. And to me, that's the most important thing. We have somebody that, maybe Theo's right. Maybe the dwarves are assholes. Well, we do know they're assholes. But maybe the main dwarf, the high leader, is an asshole. Just like, the gold diggers or whatever their name is. Right? It's gold digger, right?
Gold crushers.
Gold crusher. Alright, yeah. Whoops. Okay, hold on. Okay, gold crushers. But to see, see what this monster is doing to a man that looks like he is, not a pretty innocent guy, to me at least. Everybody likes him, other than the people that want to take over his position. That's what we do. That's the type of thing that we're sent to go do.
I never met the man, but I know who your father is. I have heard the tales of the many creatures you have slain. The world is a very large place, and there are very many people. But when there are people of such skill. There's not that many people, and the names they circulate. And I have heard this man referred to as the Crimson Blades. He fights with the two swords, like I do.
Yes,
This is your father?
just halfway. He is very proficient in the dual wielding. Honestly, watching you fight reminds me of home. One of the reasons why I think I like spending some time with you guys, especially you, Kalir, on the battlefield. It reminds me of when me and my father would fight.
I know from experience the pressure that the man has when his father is a very important person, and the legacy that they have in living up to this kind of example. And through experience, I just want to say that it is not important, or not, if in the grand scheme of things, that it is not important for you to have a bigger legacy than your father. If you do the things that you want to do, the things that are in your heart, to protect this man who is on his deathbed from the people who wish him evil, I think this is very good. You do not need to be overly reckless or put yourself in more danger than necessary. I think you're a good man, Cecil. I do not wish you to come to harm by pressing yourself too hard.
I would think the whole time Cecil was, his eyes were, he's like, not meditating, but he's listening, his eyes are closed. And I would open my eyes and I'll look straight into Kalir's eyes and I'll tell him, I already know my fate and my destiny. I know that in the future I will live up to my father, because it is my destiny. It's one that I don't want to have. Certain things that's happening to me and my family. And right now, I need to take care of that. And I'm gonna look to the blade. Maybe I can tell you later. But right now, I wish to focus. I don't have time. Neither does the Lord of the Dwarves over there. And I'm gonna close back my eyes and continue to meditate.
When he says something about obligations towards legacies, Theo's eyes kind of flick up for a second and then go back down to what she's doing.
I will get up, I will put my hand on Cecil's shoulder one more time and say, "You are not alone, my friend, and we are here beside you. We will help shoulder the burden."
You can try.
And I will finish or go back to helping set up camp. You may be muted.
Sorry. There we go. Is there anything else that you guys will be doing over the course of this evening before you bed down, before you go through the watch cycle and go to sleep?
I will do some Tai Chi that I haven't done for a while but need to practice. So I'll be just doing calm, ritualistic martial art movements to wind up for bed.
Taffy will stand behind him and try not to let him know that she's trying to copy him, but really badly.
Daffy, do you want to join me?
What? No.
No, it is most relaxing. You are please.
Oh,
come-
no, I
come
was
stand
just,
with me.
I was just getting ready for bed. No.
Oh well, I find this very relaxing before bed. You are more than welcome to.
Oh, were you doing something? Oh,
Oh, yes.
Noticed. Oh.
I do this almost every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You are you get ready for bed, but it is an open to everyone. If anyone wishes to join me, you're more than welcome. It is very calming.
as soon as his back's turned, trying to do it again.
And you'll, with your feline senses, you'll hear the slight sounds of.
So I go like even slower and a little more exaggerated, but I don't turn around, so it's even kind of easier to see what I'm doing and kind of telegraphing each move a little bit. So if you're watching, you can follow along easily.
If you do turn around, she's just going to do one of those.
After like one of those, he's going to focus straight ahead and let her do her thing.
All right. Anything else? So you all bed down during the night. Your first night in the deep. Each of you, while you're on watch, will hear a lot of noise. A lot of sounds of screams, of growls of creatures down the tunnels. The mine shafts and the pathways that you use work to cause echoes to just travel further and further than they should, like a tuning fork. As you sit there in your comfy little cubby hole, your mind filled with images of what kind of creatures are attacking or being attacked, while they, for all the sounds of screaming and anger. Do any of you do anything when you hear all these screams? Does it cause you to act in any particular way?
About halfway through the night, I grabbed Pillier's cat and wrapped her around my head like your muff and try to roll over.
Are the sounds coming from any particular direction? Or is it just both sides all around?
It's further down the tunnel you were headed. But it's all around, to be honest.
I think that...
I mean, if there's one area that sounds louder, I'll sneak out of the bubble 20 feet, just far enough off that if anything came at us, I'd have more time to get back and get everyone awake and get ready for a fight.
It's not like anything's approaching you. It was more like...
No, right. That's just on my watch. I'd be out of the bubble 20, 30 feet.
Okay. Well, you won't be disturbed during your rest. However, Cecil, your night is disturbed again. You have the same dreams as you had the night before, only this time slightly different. You are taking the place of the Dragonborn Corey. You still have the same group of adventurers, but in your position from the night before, instead of seeing you see your father. Stood there leading everything, leading every combat encounter, and giving you instructions and helping you through, failing to save your companions as they keep dropping off one by one. You watch as he puts a blade to the neck of another as they've turned mad. You have to watch your father tear himself apart with the hard situations and the guilt that he feels going through all of these experiences. And then you wake up. Everyone does, having gained the benefits of a full long rest. Also, you chose to sleep on the big ones with the pink spots. So everyone wakes up refreshed and has advantage on the next D20 base roll they make today. So pick it well, whatever it's going to be. So as the morning breaks, as you're ready to tear up camp, do you collect any more of those fungi?
Can I touch this one? Can I
Yes.
touch this one?
Yes, you can.
Can I touch this one?
Yes, you can. Pretty much
Okay.
all the ones that are left, you can touch.
Okay.
So what I will do is I will send you a note on the good ones that are beneficial.
This will be fun.
Collect
Cool.
a bunch.
I would think before Cecil would, coolly put on his scarf as he smiles and he looks at everybody and he says, "Are we ready to go?" And then he's stretching was gonna say I had a pretty good dream. Saw my father. I'm ready for today.
My face itches.
I really do think you might be allergic to cats.
I'm not going to admit it. If I don't admit it, maybe it's not true.
Do any of these mushrooms maybe help with that? I don't know.
Maybe you should rub it on her face to see.
Rub a mushroom on your face?
Yeah, just rub a mushroom on her face. Maybe it'll get rid of the red splotches.
The shield.
Maybe you could rub the spiky one on your face before you go to sleep, and then you'll be protected from the cat.
I don't think I need an exfoliant that bad. That's appreciate it.
Suggestion.
I'll keep messing around with them.
Okay.
Theodora, if Stripesies is causing you discomfort, please let me know. I will make sure that he does not disturb your sleep.
Last night he helped, so I'm fine. I'll be fine. Fine.
Now, is Stripesies always a cat? Because I've known some of these magical creatures, and sometimes they're one thing, and sometimes they are another.
Yes, she is. She is always a cat. Yes.
Okay. I approve.
Then, aptly, with Obi's approval, we're going to end tonight's session. So, we will continue exploring the deep and the good and bad that can be found within these deep tunnels. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Once again, follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. Follow us here. If you have Twitch Prime subscriptions, or you are lucky enough to be able to offer assistance, go ahead and support us by subscribing to our channel. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and make sure you check out everyone's stuff. Quick shout out to everyone who's doing some other stuff, plugs and the like. So, Christina?
Sure. You can find me here on Tuesdays. You can find me over on the Greyhawk channel on Saturdays at 12 o'clock Eastern for the Rise of the Temple of Elemental Evil. It's pretty awesome. And then on Sundays, you can find me over on Encounter RP at 5 o'clock Eastern for a really cool Young Heroes of Fate game, Fate Core system. That's it.
Anyone else?
Hi, I am KCH on the social medias, and you can find me over on the Greyhawk channel on Fridays at 4 p.m. EST, jamming with NPC, Bree, and the crew. 5 p.m. EST. Are you sure?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then
The channel has a calendar, right?
it's still kind of new.
And they
Still feeling it
rebroadcast
out.
on YouTube, which is how I watch it. So
And then on Sundays, I'm here again, and I'm sure that it starts at 4 p.m. EST on Sundays here. That's what I got.
Okay. Cool. If you like the stuff that we do, and like this wonderful hobby that we all are involved in, we have a Discord server dedicated to just casual chat amongst friends about D&D and other tabletop roleplay. There are workshop channels for DMs and players, and a whole host of memes regularly sent through. So go ahead and click on that link and join the Discord server and chat with us. We'll all be there periodically throughout the week. So thank you very much, guys, and good night.
Good night.